I had spent months planning the perfect wedding. Every detail was meticulously arranged: the flowers, the candles, the soft music that was supposed to accompany the happiest day of my life. I should have been overjoyed. Instead, I was humiliated. He arrived late. Not 5 minutes. Not 10. A whole hour. I stood at the altar, my hands trembling, my heart sinking lower with every passing second. Guests whispered among themselves. My maid of honor squeezed my hand in silent support, and my father's face hardened with barely concealed rage. The officiant cleared his throat awkwardly, checking his watch for the 10th time. Then, just as I was about to walk away, he strolled in. No rush, no apology. Just a lazy smirk, as if this were some casual gathering and not our wedding. Traffic, he muttered, shrugging like it wasn't a big deal. I should have walked away then. I should have listened to the warning bells blaring in my head. But I didn't. Instead, I swallowed my pride and convinced myself that once we were officially married, things would get better. That illusion shattered moments later when it was time for our vows. I had poured my heart into mine, weaving my love and devotion into words that held meaning, promises I was ready to keep. My voice trembled as I spoke, but my eyes stayed locked on his, hoping, praying that he would meet my emotions with his own. He didn't. When the officiant turned to him, he simply smirked and said, "Yeah, what she said." A few guests chuckled, thinking it was a joke. I forced a smile, but inside, something cracked. The reception was no better. He barely stayed by my side, spending more time at the bar with his friends than with me. While I greeted guests and took pictures, he laughed loudly at some inside joke, oblivious to the fact that this was supposed to be our night. When we finally left for the hotel, he didn't even hold my hand. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling while he scrolled through his phone, laughing at memes, completely detached from the reality of what had just happened. I turned over, watching him, waiting for something: an apology, an acknowledgement, anything. Nothing. And that was when it hit me. This wasn't new. It had always been like this. I had just refused to see it. Every forgotten date, every conversation where I was the only one trying. Every time he made me feel like I was the only one putting in effort, I had ignored them all, hoping, wishing, convincing myself that one day he would change. But people don't change unless they want to. And he never wanted to. So I made a decision. The next morning, while he was still asleep, I quietly got out of bed. I took off my wedding ring, placed it on the nightstand, and walked out. I didn't cry. I didn't hesitate. Instead of going home, I went straight to a lawyer's office. By the time he woke up, I had already filed for divorce. And just like that, my longest heartbreak became my shortest marriage.